Thanks for watching and listening on YouTube. If you don't feel like watching us or listening to us on YouTube, you can always go to Spotify or iHeartRadio or any other podcast platform that you would like to hear or listen to us on. Give us a like, give us a follow, and thanks for listening.
And for all the support. Nope.
Chuck
Testa.
Trump Testa.
Huh?
Trump Testa.
Chuck Testa.
Oh,
Chuck Testa.
and
you remember that?
Yeah.
just we have to
Nope.
have to do this because it's a legend. Chuck Norris, I'm sorry.
Oh. Yeah. RIP, man.
Yeah, man. I saw that and I was like, I gotta mention it on the podcast at least once for all the jokes and everything.
Yeah.
And all the good times.
I remember doing so many Chuck Norris jokes in middle school, man.
Yeah.
Chuck Norris memes were peak.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, the dude was pretty cool.
Yeah. I when a decade ago, when I was really into Chuck Norris, I thought when he died I'd be really sad.
Yeah.
Didn't get sad.
It just hasn't hit you yet.
No, it's more like I'm just kind of like he was.
How old was he? 70?
86, 87.
86.
Dude,
He looked good then.
But I mean, he didn't get sick and die slowly.
Yeah.
Literally the day before, 2 days before that, he was doing his boxing routines, and 10 days before that was his birthday, and he posted, "I'm doing great," and there's video. So
Yeah.
he stayed healthy. He stayed like how he wanted to be. He didn't have a drawn out thing. It was like he had a good life, man. He was old. You can't live forever.
Maybe he faked his death.
You know.
No, death faked him.
When all your people went missing, so did he.
Or maybe he was the last one.
Oh. He went to go fight the aliens. He's on Artemis too, right?
Yes,
now.
that's what it is. That's what it is. They faked his death so he could go fight the aliens for us.
I remember as a kid seeing that one movie where he stops the chainsaw. I thought that was the coolest thing. I was like,
Chainsaw Massacre?
no.
When he stopped the chainsaw.
I've never seen that movie. Oh my, but
I
anyway,
massacred the chainsaw.
shout out good old Chuck Norris.
Good old.
There's been several scientists either killed or missing within the past 2 years. Are they related? Maybe. Also, aliens?
As a man lay dying on his hospital bed, his dead wife appeared floating over him. But it wasn't the man who saw her. It was his doctors and nurses.
Sometimes you just have a bunch of dead animals on your farm. What do you think it is? El Chupacabra.
Sometime maybe good. Sometimes bad.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Tinfoil Testament. For us, we have not been together for quite a while in this room, but we still got thrown in the same four-sided room. Still three friends. No Victoria today. Joke's on you. Haha.
The girl is not here.
The girl. Yeah, it has been a minute, though.
So you've noticed by now there was no special episode for Easter. The one time we probably should have definitely made an episode. We did not. I blame Vandy for getting sick, having a life, having a job, getting sick, and going on vacation.
That was my anniversary.
Shouldn't have got married.
Shouldn't have got
I was
married.
doing it for research
The
purposes.
commenters would be happier if you were not married to the girl.
That's right.
I mean, they accounted for her brother.
Lordy B.
People are weird.
True.
Y'all are weird. So are we. Kind of.
True.
Andrew's
If
barefoot
you
right now.
weren't weird, you probably wouldn't fit in around here. So
I'm kind of barefoot. I'm halfway barefoot.
those aren't bears. They're not beats.
Those are dogs. Put your dogs away.
Got my dogs out. I'm wearing Crocs.
Why is that a thing? Dogs.
Put them dogs away.
I don't know.
The dogs are barking.
Oh my.
We are tired.
Very.
We
very
just got
tired.
done
Rehearsing.
rehearsing a little skit.
Yeah, tomorrow
For
is
Easter.
Easter for when
A
we're
little
recording.
skit that has like mini monologues all over the place.
and that we cannot understand or comprehend or speak right.
Nope. Not at all.
Mostly them. I'm not in it.
Tomorrow,
Jeremy has the
tomorrow's-
longest monologue.
yes,
You could say.
Yeah. So come to church. You'll see it.
that's right.
That's right.
Go to church.
Yeah. But you'll be listening to this after Easter, so still go to church. Dude, Mexico's a trip.
Yes, it was a trip.
You were going to bring us food, candy,
I
things
know.
to try.
I was going to bring it tomorrow.
Yeah, Vandy completely forgot our conversation we had whenever he got back about, since we had
Yeah.
practice on Saturday, let's just stay behind and record. We all agreed on it, and Vandy's like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna do it tomorrow." I'm like, "Vandy,
I never agreed.
Well, the thing is, he texted in the group chat saying, "I got
Sunday, yeah.
I got La Chupacabra for Sunday," and then
L,
I read
not
it.
La.
Whatever, I read it, and since I'm dyslexic, whatever, my brain completely erased the word Sunday.
I saw Sunday."
No, my brain did not see Sunday.
So I saw Sunday. I thought of a reply, and literally this is what happened. I was like, I thought I was like gonna reply, be like, "You mean today?" But then I was like, "Oh, clearly he remembers we're recording tonight, so maybe he means like the Chupacabra has something to do with Easter Sunday."
You gave me too much credit.
That's
what
how-
happened.
So I talked myself out of replying, thinking he meant
Yeah.
something else, and so I didn't reply.
I was supposed to go watch Project Hail Mary.
So we kind of ruined Vandy's plans that Vandy shouldn't have made because we already had plans.
Hey, I was in a whole nother country since then.
No, we
Yeah.
made the plans when you got back.
Maybe. Yeah.
well, we're
But
here.
anyway, we apologize, Vandy, for inconveniencing you, even though you inconvenienced yourself.
I got the money back for it.
That's good. I'm glad about that. I would have
And I'm like
felt bad if you couldn't have.
I'm listening to the audiobook, which is like 16 hours long. I've got 3 hours left, so by the time I go see it, I'll actually have finished the book. So
I don't know
kinda-
of this movie that you speak of.
Okay, did you ever see The Martian?
No.
It was originally a book by the author is Andy Weir, and it's with Matt Damon.
Yeah,
Matt
okay.
Damon.
Where you went? I've seen the trailers and stuff for it,
Yeah.
but I haven't actually watched it.
The Martian was a great movie. This is like his next book that they're making into a movie, and
Okay.
it's Project Hail Mary, where there's actual aliens.
Hmm.
The Martian was all about a guy who went to Mars. He was the Martian.
Yeah, so you have to watch The Martian first.
No, it's completely different.
Nice.
But he's a really good author. I wish I could write like him, but I like him because it's space, sci-fi, weird stuff that we usually talk about here, and aliens. So
Speaking of aliens,
speaking and spoken and spaking of aliens,
spanking aliens.
spaking.
we got Andrew here
No
ready
N.
to tell
Let's
us
go
about
spank some aliens.
spanking some scientists and some aliens.
Yes,
Yeah, man. I don't know if y'all have watched the news lately.
I have, and what I've heard is Israel.
Well,
So-
yeah.
we have the best pilots. Our pilots are the best. They wanted to give them the plane.
I didn't know Netanyahu was Trump now,
They're the one and the same.
Yeah,
but basically. Anyway,
aliens.
Scientists.
Ninjas of Butterflies, they actually uploaded this
Yeah, we got beef with them still.
on their
We never did.
on
They
their
stole
latest
Andrew's
episode that I listened to yesterday because today's Saturday.
Those guys, the wave thing. I was on the boat. There's waves in the ocean. Saw him.
False.
I saw him.
False.
Got video.
Didn't happen.
What?
Yeah.
Andrew doesn't remember past
not a-
episodes.
He's not a real fan of those guys.
No, not their episodes, our episodes. He doesn't remember our past
I know, but that was one of
episodes.
their episodes.
But we talked about it on our episode.
About waves?
yeah,
About how there's no waves out in the ocean.
there are. I saw them.
Yeah, I don't remember.
And we said like a wave in the ocean, and you just go up and down. They don't crash because there needs to be land.
Yeah.
I will say this.
Okay.
They do crash when there's wind. And it's because of aliens.
Nice. So, there was a scientist that went missing recently.
One of ours?
One of our U.S. scientists.
Okay.
I will say this is something I'm interested in. So I'm very surprised I have not heard about this.
Yeah.
And
So-
maybe I have, but I don't believe I have.
There's been several, and I'm going to go down the list and I'm going to read a little bit about their cases. And I'm not going to go into major detail about each one of them because there's 8. So that would take a lot of reading to go through each detail.
Do any of them have anything to do with Artemis 2 going to the moon?
One could argue.
Oh, boy. By the way, Artemis 2 is fake. Hot take.
It's not fake. It literally caused earthquakes.
So,
That's what they want you to believe.
retired Air Force Major General William Neal
Oh boy, he has a last name.
yeah, it's one of those MC capital C
McAllister's.
Mick and then whatever.
McAsland.
McCaskill.
No.
McCaslin.
Yeah. So anyway, he was 68 and he remains missing as of April. When did he go missing?
Wait.
February 27th is when he went missing.
Okay, I
This
misunderstood
year.
what you said. I thought you said he went missing in April, and I'm like,
He is still missing.
2 days
as-
ago.
He is still missing as of April.
yeah, no, you said it right. My brain just
So this is all this year.
Yeah.
2 months.
February 27th,
Oh, so like just over a month.
2026. There's been no confirmed sightings and no new information of any kind.
He's just gone.
So instead of calling him by his last name, I'm just going to call him his first name. William was last seen by a repairman at his residence around 10 a.m. His wife, Susan, left for a medical appointment at 11 and returned at approximately 12 to find him gone.
So she didn't find him.
Nope.
She to not find him.
That's what it says. Anyway. So he left his cell phone, his glasses, and any wearable tracking devices at his house, like smartwatch or anything like that.
He wanted out.
What is missing is his .38 caliber revolver,
Oof.
Yeah, he
a
wanted
leather
out.
holster, his wallet, and a red backpack. So he took those things.
They got to go bag together and just said out.
Search and rescue teams have utilized helicopters with infrared cameras, drones, dogs, and combed the Sandia foothills. So he's gone.
Oh, he's probably in another country working for them.
This
What was he working on, Andrew? What do the numbers mean, Mason?
he was working on supposedly UFO, UAP
Okay.
aircraft, and he was very high up, and he had a lot of knowledge about a lot of secret projects, and so it's very disturbing that the fact that he has disappeared, literally without a trace. They can't find a body. They don't know anything about him or where he went to, and he's just gone. So the theory is he was kidnapped from, I don't know, Russia, China. that was my cry. That was shocking. So the theory is that he was kidnapped from either Russia, China, maybe Iran. Probably not, because this was in February.
They're getting good.
But he's gone, regardless. Nobody knows where he went. But he served as commander of the Air Force Research Laboratory at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Ohio, overseeing roughly $4.4 billion science and technology program.
No, it makes sense. He was in Ohio and just had to get out.
Yep.
Had to. Well, this was his memory of Ohio made him go on a walk. He couldn't deal with it anymore. But including customer funded work and workforce of about 10,800 people focused on advanced aerospace research. I said that weird. Aerospace.
Aerospace.
He retired from the Air Force in 2013. So post-retirement, he worked as Director of Technology at Applied Technology Associates.
How much into your career do you have to be like, I'm retiring, I'm going to be the director?
You got to be high up there. But this was in Albuquerque, of course, and he was involved in areas like space warfare, directed energy, and missile defense.
Space warfare?
So he's part of the Space
Who
Force.
is we warfaring with in space?
Into space. So authorities have not confirmed foul play, but the case has drawn significant attention due to Williams' background in highly classified aerospace and space programs. Some speculation from journalists and commenters has linked it to his knowledge of sensitive topics, including potential ties to unidentified anomalous phenomenon research. Given Wright-Patterson's historical association with such lore or rumors. However, these remain unproven theories, and official updates have focused on search efforts without confirming any such connection as a factor. So he was pretty high up there. He just disappeared, walked away.
Makes sense.
I have a theory about all these, but I'm going to leave it until the end.
Okay.
And I want to hear y'all's theories first before I say mine.
Oh, okay.
So that was William. Now we're going to go to Melissa Cassius. So she went missing at age 53. And a missing person, she's a missing person from Ranchos de Teos, New Mexico.
Oof.
Also, New Mexico.
You might be getting to this, but how recent?
Yesterday.
June 2025.
So still pretty recent.
Yeah. So she worked as an administrative assistant at Los Alamos National Laboratory, a key U.S. nuclear research facility with ties to the Manhattan Project and ongoing national security programs. Melissa lived in Ranchos with her husband for about 20 years, Mark, who also worked at the LANL as a superintendent. So around 6:15, Melissa drove Mark to LANL, and she reportedly passed security, but later claimed to have forgotten her security clearance badge.
So they just let her in, like, whatever.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was one of those things where,
Yeah, we see her every day.
okay, we know who you are, whatever. We'll just go ahead. We'll let it pass this time. But maybe she needed to get into a door or into a secure area and she forgot her badge, whatever.
Sure.
Had to go back. Around 7:45, she returned home and told Sierra she would work from home. Sierra is her daughter. She ran some errands that morning at around 12:50 to 2:15, roughly, and dropped off a Subway sandwich to Sierra at her workplace. And surveillance video from residents in Talpa captured her walking eastbound on NM State Road 518 around 2:18 p.m. wearing a backpack, turquoise/white turquoise/white shirt, jeans, tennis shoes, and a maroon hoodie tied around her waist, and she was seen walking briskly and alone without her wallet, her phone, keys, and of course, without anything to track her.
Just a gun, a red backpack, and whatever else the guy had.
Yeah. So a family acquaintance reportedly saw a blue Dodge truck following her around the same time, but police later located a matching vehicle and ruled out that she did not enter it.
They ruled out that she did.
That she did not enter into the vehicle. Sorry,
No, they made a rule that she couldn't enter it.
So
They saw the truck. They got the description of the truck. They found it, and they ruled that she never actually went into the truck.
Okay. So
Yeah.
they determined no, never in it.
Yeah. Melissa had told her family she might run errands and did not take her usual personal items when she left on foot. So again, extensive ground searches, air searches, multiple agencies going around trying to follow her, trying to find her for weeks. Nothing. As of September in 2025, reports New Mexico State Police had no major breakthrough. So this is still an ongoing case. Now, media coverage has noted potential links to other mysterious incidents involving individuals with ties to sensitive U.S. scientific/military programs in New Mexico. Melissa's administrative role at LANL, which collaborates with facilities like Kirkland AFB, has been highlighted alongside the February 2026 disappearance. February 2026 disappearance.
Let's say that one more time, Chief.
Has been highlighted alongside the February 2026 disappearance of retired Air Force Major General William McAsland, former AFRL commander with deep aerospace and research oversight experience. So we have a tie there, a connection between the two. She was missing first, now him. This goes on, talks about a bunch of other stuff, whatever. Not important. So that's Melissa. Now we are going to Monica. Monica Reza. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. But she disappeared at the age of 60, and she is an aerospace engineer and rocket scientist who vanished on June 22nd, 2025, while hiking in the Angeles National Forest near Mount Waterman in Southern California. She still remains missing. Reza. Reza is described as an experienced hiker and a highly accomplished materials scientist. She worked as a technical fellow at Aerojet Rocketdyne.
Yeah. DYNE.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dyne.
Rocketdyne, and developed a patented nickel-based super alloy called Mandalloy. Kind of sounds like Mandalorian, right?
I was about to say.
So it's called Mandalloy and designed for advanced rocket engines and reusable spacecraft components. So it sounds like what SpaceX has been using.
So Elon Musk took her.
Uh-huh. So this work was founded by U.S. Air Force research programs in early 2000s. She reportedly later held a senior role at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, and her research was focused on high-performance materials for propulsion systems, reducing reliance on foreign technology. She had professional ties to retired Air Force Major General William McAsland. So here we have another person that's tied to him. And So he oversaw relevant Air Force research laboratory, right? Which we talked about.
Yeah.
During the period when her alloy work was supported, I'm having so much trouble with that. McAsland disappeared from Albuquerque in 2026, about 8 months after Reza vanished, under somewhat similar circumstances, also leaving all of her materials, all of her items behind. So, 2 other people, I'm not going to read everything into her disappearance other than she was hiking in the popular Mount Waterman Trail, starting from the 6,000 foot area and going on. So this is what is weird though. Around 9:10 a.m., she became separated from the group. So she was with a couple other people. One account states her friend was about 30 feet behind her companion, smiling behind Reza, and waving.
Weird note to say. I was smiling.
When the person turned back, she was suddenly gone.
Oh, she was smiling?
Yeah, Reza was.
I thought you were saying I was behind her smiling. Like, well, that's a...
Let me read this again.
Okay. No, I think it was just how I interpreted what you said, but that's what I was thinking. I was like, what an odd detail.
So this other lady that Reza was hiking with.
So Reza turned around, looked out, and waved and smiled, and then...
Yeah. And then she turned the corner. And then once that other person got to the same spot, she was gone. Just 30 feet difference. Wow. Gone completely. So, after that, nobody's seen her. I mean, they've done...
It's pretty wild.
They got the dogs, tried to track her scent. They did thermal imaging from drones and helicopters. Why are you laughing?
You said you got the dogs, like your toes, your feet got the dogs. Sorry, that's anxious.
So the dogs lost the scent trail real quick. They couldn't find her through that at all. Used thermal imaging, drones, everything. Nothing. Volunteers searching the area, nothing. So, next person. Nuno Felipe Gomez Lorio. He was a prominent Portuguese-American plasma physicist and fusion scientist. At the time of his death, this guy did not go missing. He died.
Oh, no.
At the time of his death, he was 47. And he served as the Hermann Feshbach Professor of Physics at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT, with a joint appointment in the Department of Nuclear Science and Engineering. He had been director of MIT's Plasma Science and Fusion Center, one of the institute's largest labs with over 250 researchers, staffs, and students. So his expertise centered around theoretical plasma physics, particularly magnetic recognition, a fundamental process in magnetized plasmas relevant to solar flares, astrophysical phenomenon, and fusion devices. Plasma turbulence in strongly magnetized, weakly collisional plasmas, and confinement, transport, and magnetic field generation amplification in fusion plasmas. He was recognized for early career breakthroughs, including solving long-standing problems in plasma behavior that advanced design of more efficient fusion devices. Okay, right. So there's a little bit of backstory. On the evening of December 15th, 2025, Nuno was shot multiple times in his chest, abdomen, and legs in the foyer of his home on Gibbs Street in Brooklyn, Massachusetts.
That's rough.
While with his family, he was rushed to the hospital and died from his injuries on December 16th. The suspect, Claudio Manuel Valente, a former classmate from IST in Portugal in 95 through 2000, was linked to the shooting. Valente had reportedly been involved in a separate shooting on Brown University in Providence, Rhode Island, days earlier. I don't know if y'all remember that or not. Hearing that on the
very
news.
familiar.
After a manhunt, Valente was found dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound in a storage facility in Salem, New Hampshire. Authorities stated that Loureiro and Valente knew each other from their university days in Portugal, but a clear motive was not publicly established. Police described the attack as swift and targeted. So there's really not a connection between him and other scientists. It's just going through the list. But I remember this guy, this news story going on last year, and hearing about it. It was super weird. The guy went into the college and went into a specific classroom. I can't remember all the details. And then shot up students within that classroom.
Yeah.
And then walked out, left.
It's
And
like
then he
one class.
Yeah, and then he ends up at this professor's room too. So it was kind of weird on that one. And then now we have Carl Grillemare. He was a Canadian-born astronomer and astrophysicist who worked as a research scientist at the California Institute of Technology, Caltech, for nearly 30 years. He specialized in exoplanets, galactic structure, stellar systems, dark matter, and stellar populations. He contributed to major NASA missions, including the Hubble Space Telescope, Spitzer Space Telescope, and Wide Field Infrared Survey Explorer, and was known for groundbreaking observations of water vapor in exoplanet atmospheres. So here we have another guy connected to space technology.
It's all about space.
Yeah. So his key achievements included discovering and mapping numerous stellar streams, remnants of ancient galaxy collisions, and mergers that helped trace the Milky Way's formation and dark matter distribution. So this guy was also killed. Wasn't missing, but he was also killed. And he was killed on February 16th, 2026, this year, around 6:10 a.m. He was 67 and was fatally shot on the front porch of his isolated rural home in La Outlaw, Antelope Valley in Los Angeles.
Make him stop, Andrew. Make him stop.
He was found suffering a gunshot wound to the torso after a 911 call reporting an assault with a deadly weapon. Paramedics attempted to save his life, but could not, and was pronounced dead at the scene. A suspect, Freddie Snyder, was arrested shortly afterward in the area, and he faced charges including murder, carjacking, and first-degree burglary. Reports indicate Snyder had prior legal issues and some felonies reported. so on and so forth, and had been seen on or near Gilmar's property about 2 months earlier on a stalking trespassing incident. Authorities linked to the shooting to this prior encounter rather than any professional or random motive. Snyder was held in custody with arraignment proceedings reported in March 2026. Keltec and IPAC issued statements mourning Gilmar. So, another scientist dead that works with aerospace and aeronautics and information on space. Now, Anthony Tony Chavez was a longtime retired employee of Los Alamos National Laboratory in New Mexico.
Hey, you said that one already.
I did.
Woohoo.
Where he worked as an R&D engineer, and some reports describe him in technical or machinist-related roles earlier in his career, and he retired around 2017.
I thought you said he retired around 27. I was like, ooh.
Chavez
Good
was
retirement age.
Chavez was a longtime resident of Los Alamos, living in the Denver Steeles neighborhood on the 37th Street. He was known locally as a familiar community figure, and childhood friends from the area describe him as positively in early coverage. Described him positively early coverage. So this guy disappeared on May 4th, 2025. Chavez was last seen leaving his home on foot in the residential Denver Steeles area of Los Alamos. He left behind, guess what? His car, because he's on foot.
His shoes.
His wallet, his keys, his phone, and other personal items. So again, nothing to track him. There were no signs of struggle or forced entry, and he was reported missing on May 8th, 2025. Extensive searches followed, including coordinated with multiple agencies, local businesses, and so on and so forth. No traces, no clothing, no belongings, nothing remained of him at all. Gone without a trace. Nothing. And the search still remains active and is still a missing persons case. So from 2025 to 2026, cases involving individuals connected to sensitive U.S. scientific, nuclear, aerospace, or defense research programs. On May 4th, 2025, Anthony Chavez went missing. On June 22nd, 2025, Monica Reza went missing. June 26, 2025, Melissa Cassius disappeared. December 15th / 16th, 2025, Nuno killed. February 16th, 2026, my God, February 16th, 2026, Carl Gilmar was shot, killed. February 27th, 2026.
You can't just keep dropping these on us. This guy. And then I'm ready for a story. Killed. Shot.
Major General William McAsland disappeared.
And on April 5th, you might be next.
Hopefully not shot dead.
Listener. Not you, Andrew, the listeners.
You can't just doom all of them.
We have one more, and I'm going to be very, very quick on this.
No.
Frank
Sinatra.
Maywald.
My world.
My way.
Exactly.
So notable contributions included, I'm not going to go all over his backstory, but notable contributions included oversight of instruments for programs like AMR/SWOT, compact ocean wind vertical radiometer, and a technology demonstration for the Air Force, and several other things. In June 2023, he served as lead researcher on a breakthrough project involving technologies that could help detect clear signs of life or biosignatures on icy moons and dwarf planets, such as Jupiter's Europa, Saturn's moons, and so on and so forth. This involved advanced remote sensing and cryogenic systems potentially applicable to future planetary missions. His Google Scholar profile shows significant citations, over 3,400, in areas like high-frequency electronics, mass spectrometry, and remote sensing. Colleagues noted his expertise in building instruments capable of scanning Earth and other planetary bodies with high precision. He died on July 4th, 2024, in Los Angeles at 61. An obituary was published online in mid-July 2024, noting his contributions to space and science research. So basically, this guy is what kind of started the trend. But it provided no detail on cause of death, circumstances, or memorial services. Reports indicate that no autopsy was performed, and the exact cause has never been publicly disclosed. Now, it sounds a little weird that there was no autopsy done, but that's ultimately up to either next of kin or spouse to do that. So it's not super weird, but it is just a hint. So he passed of unusual circumstances. We don't know. So that was the last guy.
They are dead.
So all of
gone.
these guys, gals,
Peeps.
peoples
Aliens.
were missing or were killed starting in July 4th, 2024 and ending in February 27th, 2026. So over a 2-year period.
Could keep going. Genuinely.
Could keep going, but as of right now, all of these people either completely walked away, left everything behind except for a couple items, or they were killed. And they were all connected together, either in what they were studying or with who they were around with.
They either kind of knew each other or worked in the same area, like same location.
So what's y'all's theories about this? I know that this was a lot of reading and a lot of listening and a lot of stuttering involved.
I think some of them are getting bought out.
You think they're getting bought out by foreign governments?
Both ours and foreign.
Yours and foreign? Ours. Yours and foreign. Ours and foreign?
Yeah, mine.
Jeremy?
Well, I have a few thoughts.
Okay.
The most rational thought would be that they were basically taken.
Kidnapped.
That maybe it was like some sort of project to work on it. Nobody can know. Yanked them up.
That's kind of what I think.
That's my theory too. My theory is that they were told to work on this top secret, potential outer planetary project, meaning that they had to go to the moon and work on it at the moon.
I don't know about that.
Artemis 2.
No, I'm just joking. No, but they either had to completely give up their lives to work on a project, and those that got the job offer and said, hey, here's this offer, you cannot refuse. And then they tried to refuse, and they already told them too much, so they had to kill them.
The reason why I said our government is because I think that they signed up for something and they didn't realize how deep it was. And then once they get to a certain point, it's like, you can't leave.
Yeah.
You can't leave or else. And then some do try, and sometimes good, sometimes they're not so good.
Yeah. I think it's the U.S. government saying, you don't have a life. You have to do what we tell you to do.
Yeah.
You signed up for this job, so we're going to tell you what to do.
Yeah.
Also,
are any of these people in the Epstein email?
I don't know. That didn't even cross my mind to look that up.
You know what's weird about this? Is a tangent, but there's like that time with when Bush got into office and the towers and all that.
Yeah.
There's like that big gap missing in the Epstein files or in his email.
Yes.
That are just like gone.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Probably because it proves that we did it.
He.
I did not do it.
I've never. Okay. That's a whole nother subject, but go ahead.
No,
Okay.
I will not.
Also, this is a whole other complete topic, but I'm going to touch on it because I feel like we have to, because if we didn't, it'd be insane. Former Representative Matt Gaetz.
I'll stop you right there.
Matthew.
That came out what day?
This week.
Because everything I saw was on Wednesday.
My dudes.
You know what Wednesday was?
April 1st.
Passover.
I don't think it's a real story.
This Matt Gaetz said this on the last day of March, Tuesday. Was on this interview.
What did he say?
So I have more to it than just him.
I'm not. I know. I can't.
I know.
I cannot take what he said.
I know.
To be not. I don't even know what he said. I didn't even read it because.
Okay.
I'm like I'm not. It's April
Gotcha.
Fools. So
Cool. Yeah, I know. I understand. But Matt Gaetz, former congressman, he said on Tuesday, which was the day before April Fools, keep that in mind.
Prepping it for April.
He said on a podcast that I have no idea what the name of the podcast, never heard of it or anything.
Probably something small.
But it just went viral.
Something like Ninjas or Butterflies. No one's ever
He
heard of.
said that he was briefed while he was in Congress saying that there are aliens, and in fact that there was a breeding program going on between aliens and humans, making alien-human hybrids, and that they were using humans that were trafficked from the southern border and also prisoners of war to force to breed with these aliens to create the alien-human hybrid. That's what he was briefed on.
What would be the perfect time to tell everybody this? Right when the big cover story is Iran.
Yeah. Now, before that,
was there anybody who was like, I second this? Like,
yes.
Okay.
But before that, our vice president of the United States sat down on an interview. Sat down on an interview and was asked about aliens because of the fact that Trump said we're going to get all the UFO files out and everything else. He said, I personally think that these aliens are demons. He says, I don't think that they are living extraterrestrials. I think they're demons. That's basically what his little opinion was on.
His little opinion.
Yeah.
His little bitty baby opinion.
On the topic of aliens. Now, then after that, Rep Gates comes out, says what he says. Then we have April 1st, Artemis 2.
Stupid day to launch it.
I know. Then the day after, Representative Tim Burchett came out with an interview with Newsmax. He is the only congressman that I actually do personally believe in. That's real. Everybody else is fake.
Like
Wow.
the only one. The rest are all puppets,
fake.
robots, AI.
He's
Pretty
the only
much.
one that I think is genuine out of all of them. I'm not saying he's perfect.
Well, what about
In any
Marsha
way?
Blackburn?
Oh my. No.
She's a senator. No.
I know, but it's the same.
But Thomas Massey, he's pretty good too. But I don't like everything that he says, but I think he's genuine. Also, he makes too many people mad on both sides. Anyway, Tim Burchett, he came out in an interview and said, I am a member of Congress and I cannot say everything that I've been briefed on, because the news anchor at Newsmax was asking him about Matt Gaetz. He said, I cannot say everything that I've been briefed on, but what I have been told would flip this world upside down. He said 2 weeks ago, he said, I've been briefed throughout my time in Congress. But he said 2 weeks ago, I was sat down with individuals and they briefed me. And he said, if the world knew what they told me, every person would set this world on fire.
Why?
Related to the topic of aliens.
I don't believe him. You know why? Because he's a person and he heard it and he's not setting it on fire.
Why?
Checkmate.
Why does all of this might be a stupid question, but why does all of Congress need to know this stuff?
That's a good question, because
They're
they could
all-
only be in for 2 years. But I'm pretty sure it's not necessarily all of Congress. It depends on what board you're on.
Well, okay.
And
If they can only be
How
in
long
for
you
2
been there?
years, that's a lot of people finding out a lot of stuff.
It depends on what kind of information it is.
Yeah.
Some of it I don't know about, but
If it's like a yes or no, like yes, we do have
no.
aliens.
Well, so Congress has to act, and preferably quickly, if certain things happen. And this has nothing to do with aliens, just in
Like-
general,
like
like war,
war. Yeah.
things
Yeah.
like that. So if this stuff is like, okay, this could be a matter of national security and it's something that it's Congress's power to do, not the president, they need to know it so they can make decisions.
yeah, they get briefed on a lot of things that are top secret and classified and so on and so forth. But he has been talking on this topic for a while now, for a couple years, publicly, probably about a year or two, but publicly, saying that the White House, powers that be, needs to completely disclose everything. And he's been consistent in what he's been saying. And in that interview, he said that I've been trying to fight for years on getting transparency, and it's ridiculous that they're not telling the American people what's going on. And he said President Trump doesn't even know what questions to ask to get transparency out there. So he said he's going to get a couple members of Congress to try to sit down with Trump and ask these questions. But there was also an Australian guy. I think they have a parliament. So I'm just going to say congressman. He said in relations to Matt Gaetz that he was also briefed and he couldn't say anything based on penalty of death. But he said, which is kind of funny, that he said, I can't say anything based on death. And then he said everything that Matt Gaetz was real. And he's holding the top secret file in his hand. So I don't know who that guy is.
Well,
I can't take his word for anything because I don't know who he
Yeah.
is.
let's let's play this out. Let's say you two are for lack of a better term, both of you, president and vice president, over where we live. Won't say the name. You find out there's aliens. How much do you tell the people of this city?
Yeah, I know. It all depends. It all depends on what's going on.
Do we have control of them, or are they hostile?
See, what if it actually is real?
President Jeremy, what do you want to tell the people?
I don't necessarily mean the aliens specifically, but like, what if there are intelligent species of some sort from somewhere that's not human?
Plasmoids.
No, not plasmoids. That have an intelligence enough to communicate with us and give us things or show us things or do things or are more powerful in certain areas. What if it is real?
Well, I've thought too.
What happens? What happens then?
I think that people, because we live in a stupid world with a lot of stupid, idiotic ideas, I think people would probably start worshiping them like gods.
Well, that's
100%.
the thing. I think that I genuinely do think that to an extent it is real.
Yes.
Well, there's something going on.
And I do think that it's not new. Like, and when I say new, I mean, I don't think like, the past 100, 200 years.
Yeah.
I think there's evidence that human history has been guided somewhat in certain areas and like certain explosions in technology that don't really make sense. It just kind of happened.
Yeah.
Well, that's what a lot of Christians contribute to the fallen angels.
And I think that it could very well be that some of the ancient gods were these.
100%. 100%. The more I dig into this world of alternate history, if you want to call it that, or aliens, and also reading the Bible, I lost my train of thought, but I do believe that demons, fallen angels, communicated with humanity to give them knowledge of some sort. And the old gods, the gods of old, the Greek gods, the Roman gods, so on and so forth, Norse gods, they are based off of real demonic entities.
Or in some cases, literally are with multiple names or multiple.
Yeah. They're the same god with multiple names. Little g. God.
And I've thought about this before, but not as much detail as I probably should or would like to. But obviously, we've talked before. I think it was last podcast actually about materialist view and how like that's why we say aliens, because we're materialist in the Western culture.
Yeah.
And not spiritual. If this comes out, it could pave the way
to the Antichrist
for, well, just like a global realignment in general. But yes, I was thinking about this because I started not necessarily, I wasn't freaking out, but I was just like, is this really going to happen? With Trump announcing that there are, quote, extraterrestrial life on Earth. But it would have to be more than just announced or more than here's documentation.
Yeah, it'd have to
even
be
if it's
like
real, even if it's like real documentation and it's stuff that like it's official and it's dated back to these dates. So it would have to be like they would have to show it.
No, and the thing is, there are going to be very few people that do believe it. And it's going
I think if it's shown, I think a lot of people will believe it.
I think there will be people that do believe it, yes.
There'll be skeptics who's skeptic of everything.
Yes. But because there's so much, I'm going to call it movie magic, but all these masks and makeup and everything else, people are just going to say that's fake. But
I think
here's the thing. If Trump or whoever says, here they are. This is what they look like. I'm shaking hands with them. Everybody says, we don't believe it. This ain't true. None of this is real. All movie magic, whatever. Trump or whoever will say, okay, if that's how you feel, then we will start to slowly integrate them into society. And they will start living among you. Do you think that's going to happen?
No, I don't think that I kind of don't think that people will say, I don't believe it. I think the vast majority will believe it, especially if there's also documentation. If it's just a video, if it's literally just a video of like, you won't believe the file, so here, we're showing you.
Yeah.
Okay. People, that's so easy to fake, especially with AI now.
Yep.
Have you heard of
But if they're like, here's the documentation, but I know that you're going to read this and say it's not true or it was over exaggerated or whatever, you're not going to believe it. So here, and it's like alongside with it, and they show proof of different things and end up being, I think a lot of people will believe. There will be skeptics because, like I say, there's people who either it's not my party showing it, so I won't believe, or it's Trump showing, so I won't believe, or I'm a skeptic of everything and don't believe everything. I think those groups will exist, but I think most people, your average person, I think will absolutely believe it.
So we could keep talking about this over and over again.
Have you seen the Artemis 2 theory on all that?
That they are going to the moon for aliens?
To get away from them.
To get away from them?
Yeah, because supposedly they're here, and just in case stuff pops off, they want to have a base somewhere else.
Like in the moon?
To repopulate.
Yeah. Sure.
I don't know.
So here to conclude all this, because we got to keep on going. Do you think that the missing scientists were killed or abducted to work on Artemis 2 or a different project?
Okay, so I'll answer it two ways.
Okay.
First, the rational, this is probably the case, is no. That there's, it's just a strange coincidence of stuff that's happening, but very easily it could be not necessarily for Artemis 2, but like, okay, we're gonna be revealing this the next 6-12 months. We need to have certain stuff prepped.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah,
100%. And then final thoughts on the aliens thing. Read your Bibles.
Yeah. I will say that I'm skeptic. I like this stuff. I'm interested in stuff.
Yeah.
And I like to play the part. I'm not really playing a part, but I like to lean into believing it and how I present or take it, because like it'd be cool if some of this stuff was true. But my real thoughts is like the most likely thing is nothing of this is going to happen.
Sure.
At all.
Ooh.
But I do have the door open in my mind of like it's still possible.
My thought process is that if these are demonic entities, like the theory has been going around for the past couple of years, and what also J.D. Vance was talking about, we definitely need to read our Bibles to gain understanding. That way we can't be deceived, because, like the saying goes, if you don't stand for something,
you'll fall
you'll sit
for
anything.
anything.
Oh.
So,
or Vandy's version, if you don't stand for anything, you'll sit forever, and that's bad for your posture. Get up. What are you doing?
So that's my whole thought process of it, and we will get more information.
Aliens are real
as the years go.
This is definitely a topic that not only fits our show, and I'm speaking more to the listeners than you guys, but if not just fits our show, but I'm very interested in it. I think Andrew is as well. I don't know if Vandy is. So if more information comes out and it's like enough to actually talk about, we'll definitely be
talking about it. But if they come out and say aliens are real, then every news media, every podcast in the world will be talking about it. So we will just be like,
I think they're holding it for the last card.
will be either A, the whole episode will be talking about it, or B, here's a 5-minute mention about it. Let's talk about something else.
Yeah, one of the two. or like if it's like really, really big stuff, we could even do like a
We're going live.
spontaneous. Let's just talk about this for like a few more than
Unedited to
and
get it out as
and
quick
I'll
as
just
possible.
throw it up.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's gonna happen. I think the most likely it'll be
Or live. We could do it live.
Could do it live.
Reacting to something. Or as,
could.
you know, if Trump's like, oh, 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, I'm revealing the aliens. Like, sorry, I'm taking off work. I'll be here living it.
I also saw a reel on Instagram. I don't believe it, but here it is. That supposedly they're coming out with a Trump commemoration coin
Oh yeah.
that shows him and like having an alien. Like he revealed the aliens and here's a coin, right?
I don't know about that.
So I don't believe that anybody can come up with that. So aliens, maybe.
Yes.
So what I'm curious about other than aliens are SDEs. What are SDEs?
Silent deadly effects
No.
syndrome.
SDEs, short for.
STES.
I mean,
Spez.
you've heard of near-death experiences, but have you ever heard of shared death experiences?
I have not.
It's about time.
Until you start talking, and then I'll say yes.
So in Vandy, I'm guessing you've never heard of them either.
I've heard. I don't know what they are.
So, I'm just gonna be completely upfront. Recently, Y-Files dropped an episode on it, and I listened to it, and I was like, "That's really interesting. I want to talk about it." Most of my information comes from that video, and it's like a couple weeks out. So if anyone has watched their video and you're like, "Hey, that sounds a lot like that," I stole it from him, and I apologize. But I did do a little extra research and have something he did not include that I find interesting.
The truth.
So, shared death experiences. In 1975, Raymond Moody published his book, Life After Life. And it's mostly focusing on near-death experiences, and that's kind of that's the book that coined the term. It's talked about, and he really got into death experiences in general. And while he was doing,
Did he go around and interview a bunch of people?
yes,
Okay, I've heard of it. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I knew it. While he was writing his book, he interviewed a lot of people who had been clinically dead and came back. Well, you might have heard of that part.
Yeah, I have heard of it because of the Y-Files.
Did you watch? Was that recent episode? If you watched it, this is the past couple weeks,
Couple weeks, yeah.
so then you know everything I'm about to say. Then,
Yes and no, because I completely forgot about it. But
so you just forgot.
yeah,
It'll just come back to him as you talk.
keep going.
So, everyone that he talked to saw the tunnel light, dead relatives showing up, a strangely deep peace, and people rule it all out, saying, "Oh, it's just hallucinations from your body shutting down and lack of oxygen, endorphins, all that stuff." But everybody that he talked to had similar enough experiences that it's like, is it really that? But when he talked to people, he also heard from people who weren't the ones who died and came back. They were people who were just in the room when it happened. They weren't sick. They weren't dying. They were not impaired in any way. They're just in the room when a person's dying, perfectly healthy themselves, fully conscious. And they would say all the stuff that the near-death experience people see, the tunnel, the light, the dead relatives, the same peace and like calm feeling, they're like, that happened to me. Like I saw their grandmother appear. I felt really calm. I saw like a shining light. I was not high. I was not drunk. I was not asleep.
I was gonna go to work, but then I got high.
So Moody called this a shared death experience. And so people started telling them about their experiences with this. Mist rising from a person's body. Healthcare workers in the UK would even see this in their hospitals, some of their healthcare workers. Sometimes they heard music, like calming, otherworldly. There was no tune to it, like a song. It was just like a calming melody that would just start being played. Sometimes the room changed shape a little bit, like reality got a little distorted around them and would like stretch or collapse. One woman said it was like geometry of the room stopped behaving normally. And it would be not always one person. Like I said, it would be 3 or 4 people. Not everybody in the room either.
Okay.
There could be like 5 people and 3 of them experience it.
That's odd.
And they would even see, like the light flashing before my eyes. Some people would even see memories of the person that was dying, like that person's memories. There would be kids who never saw their grandparents who would be like, I remember, or I saw when dad was talking with grandma. They would know who they are, and they would be able to tell information that like they would not know because they saw it play out before them.
Would they have a dream, or would they just stand there?
No,
as
this
the
is like
person
you're
dies?
standing next to not necessarily on the deathbed, but like for example, you're at the deathbed. You're there to be there when your father dies, and then you just see this stuff play out.
That's crazy. I don't know. Maybe I'm so confused.
And these would be details that would get confirmed by other family members. So it's like they said this happened, and then another family member like, yeah, that happened. They weren't there for it. They didn't know about it, but yeah. And so it's just weird. And skeptics want to dismiss it, and maybe it's not a real thing, but Moody, the guy who wrote the book, became more interested in it, and that's because he had an experience like that after he was already looking. So he wrote the book in 1975. He was already interested, obviously. In 1994, his mom was dying of cancer, and so 6 of their family members gathered around her bed, and they were all there together, and 4 of them felt themselves lifting up off the ground.
Sick.
And the room changed around him. Moody says it was kind of like an hourglass, and he said it felt like he was being caught in the riptide.
The room felt like an hourglass.
It looked like an hourglass, like the shape distorted
Wow.
to like an hourglass kind of look, and they felt themselves being lifted like being pulled by a tide, but instead of being pulled under, they were pulled up. And then the light changed. And then one of their sisters said, look, Dad's here. He's coming to get her. And they saw like their dad coming down, who had been dead for 2 years.
That's unbiblical.
All 6 of the people in the room had some kind of experience. 4 of them had the lifting and seeing things change. And a few of them saw their dad.
That's weird. All 6 of them had an experience.
Moody said it felt like the fabric of the universe was just tearing apart. And a weird energy, like a calming but weird energy of whatever comes next. So he was interested in these events already, Like I said, he wrote the book. He wasn't fully convinced that this was a real thing. Just was like writing books, or I don't know if multiple books, but writing and saying this is what I've heard, but he wasn't fully convinced. But once he experienced it himself, he's like, okay, there's something real here.
This sounds familiar, but at the same time, it seems like I haven't heard this.
But here's the thing with shared death experience. They aren't always, in fact, oftentimes aren't close family members and loved ones. They happen with people that are complete strangers. Jeff Olson and the ER doctor. This is what I opened with the hook. In Easter 1997, Jeff Olson fell asleep at the wheel driving home, and the car rolls 8 times going 75 miles an hour. His wife and their 14-month-old son die at the scene. His 7-year-old son survives. Jeff is barely alive with a broken back and a tear opening his stomach from his seatbelt. And his legs are all messed up, and he had to get his left leg amputated. And he spent 6 months in the hospital, over 18 surgeries. What's interesting is his ER doctor's name is also Jeff. So there's 2 Jeffs. His doctor, Jeff O'Driscoll, was working, and he's not even assigned to his case. So it's actually not even his doctor, but it's Dr. Jeff, ER doctor, working in there. A nurse named Rachel grabs him and tells him to come to the trauma room. She says Olson's wife is there, and O'Driscoll already knew what she meant, because for a couple of months, both him and this nurse saw her come into the room more than once.
Like walk in there or just appear?
Over Jeff's body, hanging above him or floating above him.
Nice.
Just like watching him. She had her curly blonde hair, white clothes, kind of see-through, and she would even look at them, not just her husband. Like she would.
So Doctor Strange type.
Yes. But it's the ER doctor and the nurse.
Very odd.
At the same time, obviously Jeff's fighting for his life for this bit. So he's like conscious, not really conscious, but he kind of has like visions or memories of his time. And he says later he was floating above the crash scene. And while he was floating above the crash scene, it was like his wife and his child were up there with him, but they went on. She said she couldn't stay, and he said he didn't want to go back because she was dead and his son was dead. And she says, you can't leave. It's not time yet. You need to take care of Spencer, which is their other son. And so whenever he comes back, the 2 Jeffs talk and kind of become friends, because they both had like like they felt connected, like they shared this moment together, even though they didn't even, because it's not the same, but they felt connected and became friends and stay in contact with each other. And both of them wrote books about it.
It's nothing but a money grab.
Yeah, it's just money grab, sure. And Jeff.
You know, that's why they wrote books. Anytime somebody writes a book about their experience, it's just a money grab.
World War I. Karl Scala, German soldier, was in the foxhole with his best friend when an artillery shell hit. Shrapnel goes everywhere. His friend dies in his arms. Scala says his consciousness pulled up and out of his body. He was floating above the battlefield, above the trenches, looking down at mud, smoke, bodies, and everything. His dead friend was floating beside him. The 2 of them rose together toward a light, and at some point Scala stopped. He didn't know why he stopped, but he stopped, and his friend kept going and disappeared into the light. Scala woke back up in the foxhole, alive, still holding the body of the man he just watched leave.
Dude, World War I?
Yep.
The worst.
Yeah, it was
war.
bad to be a soldier because
Oh my gosh.
the weapons were just strong enough to tear you up, but just primitive enough to not instant kill you.
You want to
And the
look up.
medical was horrible back then compared to what we have now.
You want to look up.
Like
one
it
of the
could
worst
instant
battles.
kill you, but like
The Battle of Verdun. That's one of the worst battles in World War I history. Terrible. Continue before I start dropping more historical facts.
then
here.
there's a case where the person wasn't even there with the person who died.
What?
In 2000, William Peters was volunteering in hospice care, and he sat with a dying man named Ron, a former merchant marine. Peter had been reading to him for weeks. One day, in the middle of reading, Peter feels something grab him. Did my notes get messed up? I think my notes got messed up because there was a story of someone not there, but this guy was there. So I don't know why it happened.
Probably just exited out of your notes.
No, I did. No, I didn't. Okay. One day in the middle of reading, Peter feels something grab him. Not physically, but more like his awareness is yanked out of his body. And he finds himself floating above Ron's bed, looking down at the room. And he sees himself in the chair, and he realizes Ron is floating beside him too. And then they have a conversation, being like, this is kind of neat. And then Ron's like, well, peace out, and leaves. And Peter goes back into his body. Ron officially dies a few minutes later.
You know what I've noticed throughout every experience? There's not any sense of fear at all, or hesitation or anything. It's just a simple, oh, I'm here now. Well, this is cool. And then they get sucked back into their bodies.
Peters, this guy, he doesn't tell anybody what happened because he thinks he's crazy. And he's like, obviously that didn't happen, whatever. But then when he hears about these experiences in Moody's book, he's like, that's what happened to me. And that's when he comes about it. Eventually, they found the Shared Crossing Project in 2013 and start collecting cases of shared death experiences. About 64% of shared death experiences he collected were remote. So now it's going. I don't know why I don't know what happened to my notes and why I put the doesn't happen in the same room and then had an entire in the same room and then goes back. Oh, and by the way, you don't have to be in the same room again. I don't know what happened there.
It's okay. It's okay.
Annie Capp was sitting in her office in London when she suddenly starts choking and can't breathe. And then she has an overwhelming dread about her mother, who is in the hospital over 5,000 miles away. She calls the hospital and Betty dies while Annie is on the phone. Another case, a man named Mark who's flying across the United States when he feels a telepathic connection to his father dying in a Canadian hospital, and he hears his father say he doesn't know how to do this. So Mark visualizes walking up a staircase with him toward a light, and at the top they're greeted by Mark's grandmother. His father hugs her, turns to Mark, and says he didn't know it was going to be this easy. Shortly after this, Mark's phone rings, and his brother tells him their father just died. And Mark told him, yeah, I know. Then there's a woman who hadn't spoken to her hadn't spoken to her ex in over a decade. And out of nowhere, she feels his presence, hears his voice in her mind, thanking her for the years they had together. She texts her daughter immediately, and her daughter says her father had just died.
So there's a lot, is what you're saying. A lot of these experiences.
Then there's cases with kids, and I already mentioned on this. that they'll have instances like this too, and they'll be little kids. So they're not like necessarily mentally thinking of this. Like, you know, like as an adult, you have emotions, you kind of have your thoughts about death, and you might force yourself to see something, if that makes sense. Like, you don't really see anything, but you tell yourself you did because it makes you feel better. A little kid's not going to do that.
It's called FOMO.
Yeah, that's what it is. FOMO. They're dying. I want in.
I want to know.
No. So with kids having it, it's harder to narrow it or to consider it being that. Penny Sartori was preparing to get a bath, or preparing not to get a bath, to give a bath to a dying patient. And when she touched the bed, and suddenly the room disappeared.
What?
And then she could feel everything her patient was feeling, even his pain. And even though he couldn't speak, she clearly hears him say, "Leave me alone. I just want to go. Let me die in peace." And then that was it. They died.
Ouch.
So basically she touched the bed, and then
And she killed someone.
she touched the bed, the world vanished, and she felt all the intense pain he was feeling and could feel his thoughts.
Was it just like black? Did it just go black?
I guess. And then he died. Here's another hospice nurse, but I don't know. We're fine. We don't need that. Here's where Andrew's going to get real happy. Sometimes it's not even people, it's pets.
Oh, gosh.
There's documented cases where comatose dogs would suddenly sit up and wag their tails like they were greeting someone unseen. And one woman reported seeing her dead cat sitting at the foot of her dying father's bed purring. And the cat had been dead for 3 years. So you can see your cats too.
I'm okay. I don't want to see dim cats.
So this has been a thing that's been going on for quite a long time.
Are there any reports of this going on in the Middle Ages
There were
that you know of, or no?
Tibetan Buddhists have a practice called Pawa,
Power.
where the living help guide the dying through transition, and it's very much like most cases where the family member will help them find their way to the light.
Sort of like Day of the Dead.
There is 8th century Christian recordings describing lights appearing as monks died. Aboriginal Australian traditions include communal dying. So it's got a range of
Years. Yeah.
and locations. Now, this is where I think it gets more interesting. So I'm done giving examples, and now I'm going to talk about it being taken seriously. It's been peer-reviewed studies that have gone on about this, and recently, 2021, William Peters publishes the first peer-reviewed study focused specifically on shared death experiences in the American Journal of Hospice and Palliative Medicine. It analyzed 164 SDEs and from 107 people and found 4 main forms. Some people sensed the moment someone died even without being there. Others witnessed strange phenomenon at the bedside. The third group felt pulled into the experience itself, like they were being taken into the tunnel or toward the light. And the rarest group were the ones actively walking them through it. 87% of experiencers came away convinced of an afterlife. Not open to it, convinced. And in some cases, these were people who said, before this moment, afterlife's not real, and would have called people like that crazy. So they're not always people who lean into this. And oftentimes, their grief didn't vanish, but it changed how they felt. So it made it easier for them to grieve or to move past it than they would have without the experience. And in other cases, the fear of death just disappeared entirely. Now, this I found myself when trying to look into it, I found a government survey posted on a government website, PubMed, called Shared Death Experiences, a multicultural survey from the National Library of Medicine. And so it's not very long, so I just copy and pasted them. I'm going to just read it. Background. Shared death experiences and after-death communication experiences are non-ordinary mental experiences related to the death of a known or unknown person. Methods. These experiences were investigated by surveying 4 samples with different cultural backgrounds: Italian, Mexican, Brazilian, and Taiwanese people. 121 participants reported 146 experiences of this type. Among the main characteristics of these experiences, visual, auditory, and feeling experience, which comprised 74% of all experience, were experienced both in a dream state and a normal state of consciousness. Furthermore, most of these experiences were lived before or after the death of the person in relationship with the participants. More importantly, these experiences influenced the participants' death interpretation, favoring the belief that death affects only the body, but consciousness of the deceased person survives in another reality and sometimes can communicate with relatives and friends still alive in this reality. No substantial differences were observed among the different subsamples. Conclusion. As to the origin of SDEs and ADCEs, we discussed that whereas for most of them, in particular those lived after the death of a relative or friend, we can assume hallucinatory characteristics triggered by emotional needs for others, for example, those related to unknown individuals and or those experienced before the death of the person still in good health. But it is not possible to exclude their anomalous connections and a real encounter with a deceased person. So their conclusion was, in most cases, it was probably a hallucination or some sort of coping mechanism. But there are times we cannot rule out that it's real.
Well, the majority of the time in science, unless it's the same experience is able to be, same thing is able to be experienced multiple times, they can't say it's fact because of the scientific method, right? You got to ask the question first and then observe and all that mess. But if they can't repeat the process and get the same exact answer, then of course they're not going to say it's fact. So
yeah, but the fact that they were just like, maybe it's real.
well, they don't want to say, yeah. I mean, they don't want to say that, hey, it could be real, it could be not real, because they don't want to get people's hopes up. They don't want to make anybody mad or whatever. I don't know, but it's something odd. It's something weird. It doesn't happen to every single person. That doesn't happen to the majority of people. It's a very minute amount of people that experience this, I think. So it's very hard to study it, and you don't know when it's going to happen.
Yeah, you don't know what's going to happen. The one point also is that this is not a cultural thing, because
yeah, it's multicultural. That's what they were saying.
The 4 I named, the Italian, Mexican, Brazilian, Taiwanese, but then there's also Hindu, there's also Christian, there's also Buddhist, and it's all more or less the same, maybe slightly different wording because of how the culture would word it, but when you boil it down, it is the same stuff. So it's not just a culture influencing how you'd see death.
Yeah.
Of course, skeptics still be skeptic. And in a lot of cases, it probably isn't real, but they don't always explain, like the way skeptics explain it don't always make sense, especially with the remote STEs. Like how do you explain? And I think we've all heard stories of people, or maybe someone you even know, who's like, someone I knew was dying, and I just felt it. I just knew.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot.
And that kind of falls in line with that too. Like, it's like I just know they died. How do you explain that? Especially if it's out of nowhere. Like if they're slowly dying.
I mean, you hear a lot about mother's instincts too, like
or
when
twins.
Like an intuition.
It's like mother instinct, intuition, or twins.
Yeah, when moms know that their kid's in trouble or their kid's sad or whatever, and they give them a text, say, "Hey, what's going on? You doing okay today?" And they're like, "No, I'm actually not." I mean, everybody's heard that too. So we're spiritual beings, and we're going to experience spiritual things, somewhat one way or another. So that's kind of what I come up with. Is it true? Maybe. I think some of them could be. Some of them seem a little far-fetched.
You think Jeff and Jeff are just looking for books?
Yeah. Just a money grab. Why would you write a whole book based on a 10-second experience?
Well, it wasn't 10 seconds. It was over 2 months.
Well, I guess. Well, I'm talking about like whenever Jeff. Wait, am I getting it right? Where the one guy was sitting in his chair and then they met each other above his chair and then the one went.
No, it wasn't Jeff. Jeff and Jeff were the doctor and patient.
Oh, okay. I was thinking of a different guy. Never mind.
Jeff and Jeff.
But everyone knows a doctor could use more money. So
you know what else a doctor could use? Some tinfoil.
Money.
Some tinfoil to heat up them baked potatoes.
Or to cover their brains so they don't get stolen.
I've got to... Okay, I'm not going to mention anything. Go on, Mr. Vandy.
Tinfoil truth.
My neighbor Jeff.
Sure.
I was waiting for you to chime in there.
2 headlines. One's true. One's false. You decide. Well, not really. I'll tell you if it's right or not.
Try to figure it out. Also,
I tried to make them easier because the guys in the comments said it was too hard. And Jeremy just knows too much.
Okay, let the record be known. I have a big brain and I know everything, and it's not fair. Let the record be known. Andrew does better at this than me.
I saw those two guys.
Because Jeremy lets him.
I saw those two guys going at it in the comments.
No, I have a suggestion I meant to tell you, and I forgot. And so we won't do that today. But if you want to, no promises, audience. What if you went in order of difficulty?
Yeah, I could do that. That's very subjective based on the lie.
True. It is subjective. Or like give it like a rating of how difficult you think it is or something.
I mean, I could make it super difficult where I'm like, in 1968, and it was really 1967.
It was 1967 on December 31st.
Yeah. Andrew's falling asleep over there.
True, he is.
He's having one of those SDIs.
He ate 2 burritos.
SDEs. He's having a near-death experience.
Yeah, boy.
All right, I'm going to read 2 headlines. You guys decide which one you think is true and which one you think is false. Hopefully these are a little bit easier. I try to make them a little bit easier because I'm in a room with 2 big brain guys. They just know stuff. So here's the first one. Here's the first one. A French village installs reflective vests on sheep after a string of traffic jams.
Why? What?
The French would.
A French village installs reflective vests on sheep after a string of traffic jams.
I don't know how that helps at all.
Yeah.
I think they got hit.
Go on. Next one, sir.
Let's see. Cheney the kangaroo scales tall fence
Dick Cheney.
and flees a petting zoo for 3 days.
Cheney the what?
Kangaroo.
Kangaroo. Okay, sorry.
I'm going to say tinfoil true. The French don't have sheep, so.
I'm going to say tinfoil true also.
You guys are correct.
Mm-hmm.
There was actually a wild kangaroo running around in
They hop.
Wyoming or Montana.
They don't run.
I think it was Wyoming.
Australia?
No, it
Ohio.
it was one that was loose jumping around.
They'll kick you.
All right, you guys should be able to get this one because one of these I actually saw on the news. So, German zoo asked visitors to stop donating old Christmas trees because capybaras became too picky and only wanted those instead of the regular food. Or a red fox stows away on a cargo ship traveling all the way from England to the U.S., introducing a new species on accident.
True tinfoil.
I have not heard either of those.
What?
True tinfoil.
I'll tell you which one's true after you.
Well, yeah, that's how it works. You do tell us which one's true.
Well,
after.
if I say yes, one of you is right, you'll know.
True tinfoil.
You guys are both wrong.
Yeah, I was going to say
Yeah,
that.
so we almost had a new fox here, although it wouldn't be able to reproduce unless well, I guess it could with another fox and make a hybrid.
What kind of fox was it?
It's called an English red fox.
Well, we have red foxes here too.
Yeah, but they don't have a British accent.
Yeah.
Well, I do declare.
Like how
That's Southern speak also.
Eh,
I do
do
declare.
foxes bark?
No.
No. They go ring ding 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 ding. What the fox say?
What does the fact say?
How do you do that in British accents?
Ring a dang. A dang a dang a dang.
I don't,
That's Indian.
Well,
Darka darka.
wow.
okay.
Well, considering you guys got that one wrong, nobody's gonna get it right in the comments.
I've just figured that's wild. I should have gotten that one right.
I should have
But
trusted.
I figured it was the
I
same
should have
genus.
trusted my gut and said the other way around. But I'm like, Andrew, I was like, if you heard the story, he did too. So he's gonna know what's right. That's why
Yeah, I thought it was the same.
I should
type
have
of red
trusted
fox.
my gut and not Andrew.
Oh well.
All right, here we go. Scream your way to happiness? Maybe not, but Scream clubs promise some relief.
It's not what I thought you were going to
Stream
say.
clubs?
Scream, like
Or
you're
scream.
yelling.
I meant to say stream. Scream. Scream. I meant to say scream. Scream clubs.
Yeah. Or Italian town revives an ancient snail racing festival to lure spring tourists in 2026.
I want that one to be true, so I
Yeah,
want to say
yeah.
true. Regardless of facts, I want that one to be true.
It's tenfold true.
I want to watch. What was that name of the movie? Of that
Turbo?
Turbo.
I've
I want to
never
watch
seen it.
Turbo
Oh, no.
in real life.
You guys are wrong.
I
tenfold
don't
true.
care.
There. Okay.
I don't care.
There really was snail racing though.
Yeah, that's the thing. I just don't know if any Italian towns have made it up.
I don't even know what the first one was.
Scream clubs.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I don't. No one wants that. So we said true on principle of what should be.
Yeah.
On March. Sorry, go ahead.
No, nothing.
On March 15th of this year, Thailand's Death Festival invites visitors to embrace their own mortality.
True.
Swiss transit officials test quiet benches where commuters are discouraged from making small talk.
Tenfold.
What country?
Switzerland.
This one's hard.
These are supposed to be easy. What's
Well-
going on here?
If Andrew's having a difficult time, maybe it's easy then.
What was the first one again?
True.
Stop.
Thailand's Death Festival invites visitors to embrace their mortality on March 15th.
A death festival. And then
Just say something.
I wouldn't imagine people would be doing a lot of small talk in Switzerland. Most of Europe is just like mean. So
Fun fact about Switzerland. Did you know every male at the age of 18 gets a SIG rifle?
I did know that. They are
A
required
G55 or something like that?
they are required to join the military for 2 years.
Yeah.
And yes.
And-
so I did know that. I know that, but I don't know the answer to this question.
Just
Tinfoil. No, true tinfoil.
You guys are right. Thailand wants you to embrace your mortality. Don't experience it. The next two are about Argentina. This is the last two. Viral phenomenon in Argentina has young people identifying themselves as animals.
furries, yes.
The next one, and I'll let you guys know, this is a trick question. An Argentinian man in February 2026 claims he is Hitler at the age, and he is the age of 128.
Tinfoil true.
Remember, I said this is sort of a trick question.
I'm gonna say we're tied right now, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say true tinfoil, so that way we have a winner.
I'm true.
they're true.
You're true.
They're both true?
Yes.
Well, then why'd you do that?
I told you it was a trick.
I definitely know talking to Freddie that it's become a big trend in Mexico to become a furry. I didn't know about Argentina.
I did not see any of those when I went.
Yeah.
Thank
Good.
God.
You didn't look.
But I do know about
they
the
were
story
animals.
of the old Hitler guy,
Yeah.
and it's obviously impossible because he'd be way too old.
I'll give it to the guy. He looks like him.
Sure, but
That's about it.
yeah. Nice. Well, let's talk about something else that's in Mexico besides furries. El Chupacabra.
El Chupacabra. I went to Mexico and I legitimately looked for stuff there. We were in a taxi going to one of the resorts, and I probably looked like the stupid tourist, and I was like, have you ever? And then I asked about the El Chupacabra.
Did you say, I'm doing a podcast on this subject. Would you like to give an interview so I could use it on the podcast and pull out a microphone and be like, I'll record you?
Could have.
You
I'll
should
give
have.
you 10 pesos.
That's not enough.
I'll let you into my country
Whoa.
And give you 10 pesos.
and kick you out.
Legitimately, we did leave like 3 people in Mexico.
Then
Because
they-
like once the gangway goes up,
Yeah.
you're on your own.
That's wild.
that's another reason why I don't want to go, because that would happen to me,
Mm.
and I don't
But-
know how you would fix that.
You got to fly back. But usually your passport
You
is
gotta
on.
fly. You just start flapping your arms. Fly.
But either way,
That'll be a
I
headache.
asked him about it, and he's like, "Oh yeah, he comes at night," like the
It's
typical
just-
tourist.
Yeah, he's
answer.
just like, I'm just going to tell him something. Just
I want
to
a good
satisfy
tip.
the guy.
He gave me the answer that got him a $5 tip,
Yeah.
which is like double in their money. So I was like, okay, whatever. But I was looking for stuff, and they have like little trinkets and different things supposed to be looking like it. And for anybody who doesn't know, this is like one of the most well-known cryptids. First popped up in Puerto Rico, then Mexico, and then some other Latin countries.
U.S.
U.S., yes, came in illegally, but
Probably on a truck.
yeah.
Slid underneath that fence.
But there's a lot of people that say it's just coyotes with mange, dogs with mange, or El Chupacabra. If you want to believe in that.
The goat's doing it to himself.
Yeah. If you don't know, El Chupacabra means goat sucker. And they treat the legend loosely as it's basically a vampire dog or vampire type rodent. Depending on who you talk to, it has different sizes. But more recently, what ticked me off was as soon as I saw that there was quote unquote sightings in Texas, we get on the boat and there's no internet on the boat, so I couldn't really see it.
There's sightings in Texas, and you get on the boat, and there's none on the boat.
There's none on the boat.
Should have been there.
Should have brought your goat. Maybe it would have shown up.
Should have gotten there quicker.
The way, like I did some research just watching on how people try to catch them. Is very much like the scene in Jurassic Park where they put the goat on the thing.
That's funny.
Like they literally tie a goat up in the field, and it's just bait. It's just like, all right.
And then the T-Rex comes out and
and they're like, that's not the Chupacabra. Get another one. But the idea is like during the Mexican Day of the Dead, the Puerto Ricans have their own style. They will put a goat out there to keep it away because it's attracted to death, and people say that they see it near death.
So why would you put a live goat out there if it's attracted to death?
To keep it away from you.
it's like a
Like if somebody-
sacrifice over here, stay away from it.
Yeah. If someone in your family has died during the time until you bury them, you put a goat out in the field. You leave it.
Talk
If
about
it dies, it dies.
talk about a scapegoat. That's supposed to be.
But do we have that on here? I
Yes,
thought we did.
we do.
Just hit all the buttons.
There we go. The last one. All right, settle down there. Oh my! But so I try to do a little research while I was there, just in the local shops and whatnot, and everybody just gives you the same stupid answer. But the legend,
It's like us going to Washington or Oregon. Have you ever seen Bigfoot?
I have. Have you ever seen a John Lee?
No. Have you ever seen a Chupacabra?
So what really kicked it off was when I was doing some research in the early 2000s. This is in Texas. This is not like another country's story. In the 2000s, an El Chupacabra was sighted in Texas, and they finally got DNA of the guy. The guy meaning the Chupacabra. And they took it into a local veterinarian, and the veterinarian said they had to send it off to get the DNA test to see what it was. They sent it off, and they said, "This is a coyote." And the guy came back and said, "Nope, you're wrong." And he went to another place and had it third-party tested on his own, and they confirmed that they couldn't find a match within the animal kingdom for known animals. So that's where things kind of kicked off.
Did they check the unknown animal section?
They did not.
Might be in. That's their problem. I think I've seen a picture of that thing, and it was ugly.
Yes, it's very ugly. It's almost like a hairless,
Yeah.
or mostly hairless. But once he found the blood from it, because he said he tried to shoot it with a shotgun, so he probably peppered up whatever it was and bled. His livestock started going missing, and he would go try to look for them out on the plains, and he would find that the bodies were almost always drained of blood. That's the part where like the legend becomes a little more real, if you want to say it, because I don't know anything that in 24 hours is going to drain the blood out of a full grown cow or goat or sheep or whatever.
That's a lot of gallons in a cow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of gallons.
Well, there's
How many gallons are in a cow?
About a cow. About a cow's worth of gallons. About an udder's worth.
No, more than that.
Oh.
That's how we just start measuring our liquids. And I need a cow's worth of gallons.
Cow's worth of milk.
so you guys know how they have these hunts down in Texas where you can hunt wild boars with like thermals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
In 2024, near the border by El Paso, there was like a group of 6 or 7 guys that all had thermals. They were all looking at the same stuff. They were basically on a ridge looking down, waiting for pigs because they had baited down there with corn and food and just
Corn and food.
corn
So-
and food.
so
I
corn
hate
is a-
corn, dude.
Do you?
Yes.
Get corn out of my face.
Yes.
You hate corn and you hate macaroni and cheese.
Corn by itself. If you put corn in something else,
What if you put corn in macaroni and cheese?
dude,
It's good.
I'm done. They had this group of guys. They're looking down, waiting for the boars to come in. They see something that looks like a coyote on the thermals in their scopes. It's running, and they see that it runs past the canyon, goes down into another one. For some reason, it somehow herded a calf off by itself, and they were like, okay, we're going to take a couple shots at this thing just because it's going after a calf. They said that one guy shot and they thought that they hit it because it kind of scurried off, half limping, it looked like. And this is all guys are looking at the same thing. So they all agree this is what happened.
Mm-hmm.
They figured, okay, we're just going to stay here. He obviously took the shot, hit the thing. The calf is going to be able to get away. There's no way this thing's going to keep up with it. Well, they finished their hog hunt. They decided they're going to go check out what it was because they knew where it went or the direction that it went. When they went out, the calf was found dead. And again, there was a small puddle of blood. And there was like basically what we would consider like the vampire holes, but
3 dots.
but all over it.
Huh.
Like
Usually it's
in
just like
different-
in one spot.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Like it was in different spots,
Oh.
but only a certain amount of holes. I think it was like 3 or 4 had blood, and that was where the blood was, like where it had leaked out. They never found what they shot or the coyote that they thought they shot. So that's been going around. Everybody thinks that's El Chupacabra because the calf was taken in to be examined because they're like, we don't know what killed this thing. We want to see if it's got diseases because obviously there was other cows there and everything. So right now, yes, it's been 2 years since then, but everybody's kind of been on the rise of like looking for this thing. That's where I want to ask you guys if you guys know of anything in the animal kingdom that can siphon out blood like that.
So what it is they took coyotes and put them through the alien breeding program and then just dumped them off in Puerto Rico and Mexico.
I wish it was as easy as that.
That's why it looked like it was that to one group because it partially is, and the other group said, no, it's not anything we know because it's half alien.
There's nothing.
Vampire bats?
Yes, however, the way they're, number one, they're a couple inches long.
Yeah.
Number 2, they have a chemical within their saliva that doesn't allow the blood to clot.
Right.
So it just makes it continue to.
They're the ones that they make the incision and then multiple of them go to the same thing so that the animal doesn't get spooked up, basically. Yeah.
And they'll just feed until
They're like a mammal parasite.
Yeah, until they get full, and then once they get full, they fly off, and then that wound continues to bleed for a while after, and eventually it clots up.
Yeah.
Once that saliva is out of its system. There's not many animals that solely feed on blood because it's not very nutritious, believe it or not. There's very little nutrients to it. And so that's why the vampire bats are so small, because
Not a lot to support there.
yeah. So there's not. That's pretty much the only animal that I know of. I know that there's probably more, obviously. If there's one, there's more. But that's the only animal that I know of that feeds on blood
Yeah.
solely.
The only other theory that I had was maybe there's some type of insect or something.
Could be.
But like I don't know. Government.
Who knows, man? The government, they are crooked in every way possible. We've talked about government experiments on here before.
Yeah.
I mean, just a couple episodes ago, Plum Island, right?
Yeah.
Did you see your comment about that?
Oh yeah.
Did I see my comment about
Yeah.
that?
It was a comment. What was basically directed to you.
He's a hater.
No.
Someone commented like, "Yeah, no, you're wrong."
Bet.
Oh,
I probably am. I probably am, but I'm not.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what he's saying I'm wrong about, though.
The disease was existed
Started
before
at-
Plum Island. That you got the name of the place wrong. So there were like 3 things they corrected or said. Well, they corrected the place and then said like 2 things you were wrong about or something, and they sounded very dismissive and like they weren't a fan.
Well, you know,
They sub though.
I just found the information on the internet, so
Everything you guys see on the internet is true.
yeah.
I'm
I could
calling
be
you
wrong.
out for being wrong, Andrew.
I could be.
This is your chance to make it right.
Well, that's the information that I got, and I'm sticking to it.
Speaking of all that type of thing, is fact checking going away?
No, not until Trump's out of office.
It'll be soon.
So anyway,
They got to fact check Trump on everything he says.
yeah. Oh, okay. So anyway,
Once it's them, fact checking doesn't. You don't stop.
it's gone.
My idea on it is a skinwalker of some sort.
My idea is that it's actually just a guy in a suit and he's got a little knife. He's going.
Leaving no blood.
It's Edward Scissorhands walking around here.
Well, you said it's government. They have like special knives.
Bunch of needles all at once.
3
3.
typically.
Yeah.
The one that happened 2024 was like a new recruit didn't know how to do it. He got shot. First
Botched
of
the
all,
job.
he got shot. He was spotted by 6 people and 3 holes. 3 holes, man.
He
Probably-
panicked. He's like, I gotta get this done. I don't know, man. Sometimes, you get these local legends and then something happens and it just happens to line up somewhat.
Yeah.
And then it gets attributed and then you're stuck with, it's the truth, it's the truth. And I'm like,
I do think there's a good chance that there's some random creature
oh yeah.
that we just.
Especially in I think there's more creatures in the US that we haven't discovered. So let's start with that. But especially in countries where the technology and the population isn't spread out as well, and they're more primitive, I should say, or not more primitive, but less developed than us.
I don't think it's a demon though.
I don't think it is either.
I don't know.
It's something. I don't know what it is, but it's something.
And it could just be deranged coyotes.
So that's the most plausible to me. They got mange, they got rabies or something. Don't know about the blood thing. I can't explain that one. Like, why would you leave that little bit of blood?
It's the U.S. government. They see it happen and they're like, we could get people looking at this.
Yeah.
So they go behind the coyote and drain it and say it was him.
Have you guys ever heard
No.
or seen of the movie Cabin in the Woods?
No.
Good.
Maybe.
It's not rated very well. Don't watch it if you're listening.
I think I have.
I read a a summary of it, and it's basically like a government entity.
Oh yes, that movie is fantastic.
You
Have,
watched it?
have you seen it?
No.
Okay, can't recommend it because yes, it's it's up there. You guys should watch it.
But it's like
It's so funny. Do you know what it is, Andrew?
I have not seen it.
I doubt you guys are gonna watch it, so I'm just gonna spoil it for you. Basically, it's like there's like the government has like this area where they send teenagers every year and do like all the horror film tropes, like
Yeah.
like for example, you know how like in the horror movies the jock couple always wanders off on their own.
Yeah.
Well, it's because the scientists press a button to release like a mist of
Pheromones and
pheromones
stuff.
to get them going to do that. And like they have like the monsters and they like
yeah, the monsters are real.
they have like all the monsters and they do like a roulette to see which one gets sent in, and they send in like the Chainsaw Man or something, and then like
Isn't
everything.
Isn't
and
it
it's
where like people are taking bets on it?
yeah,
too?
yeah. The scientists are taking bets on it, and they have like electric walls, see-through walls, because Thor is in the movie. Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah.
He's one of the characters that's there, and like he tries to leave, and he gets on a motorcycle and goes, and he like flies straight into it.
Yeah, just I've seen that scene where he just like dies.
But like the whole thing is like the best part is it is a competition sort of the governments from different countries trying to find a sacrifice to this god that's going to destroy the world. And like the US particularly is competing with Japan, and Japan just has like these schoolgirls doing seances.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
It makes fun of like every horror film trope and explains it. It's
I
like
did see one scene on a reel where he's like, "We didn't actually do anything. We suggested,
Yeah,
but they took the action to do everything."
Yeah, like they don't make them do anything.
It's literally a psyop.
They
It's
trick them into showing up and then put the wall so they can't leave, but then they never interfered. Well, they interfere, but they never like directly interfere. They just like guide.
pushing them toward a direction,
Nudge.
seeing what happens.
And
That's what your government's doing to you today.
it's all to get a virgin sacrifice for the demon lord that's gonna end.
Oof.
And they figure it out and it doesn't happen, and then the world ends, I think.
Oh my!
And they let out all the monsters in the facility.
they?
Yeah, they let out all the monsters in the facility.
That's wild.
But don't go watch it. It's not a good movie.
Don't
apparently.
don't go watch it. Can't recommend. I might even cut out some of that just to not recommend people. But you two,
I'm not super big into horror
Well,
films.
see, okay, but that's the thing. It's not really a horror movie. It's a satire, not satire. It's making fun of horror movies. So like it never feel like it's got all the horror tropes in it,
Yeah.
but it never really feels horror, and it's kind of more funny
Comedy.
but it's not really a comedy. It's like a horror comedy, but it's not like the suspenseful whatever.
Yeah, like
horror.
jump scares and stuff.
And you pretty quickly learn what's happening too.
Yeah. You can cut this if you want to, but one of the ones that legitimately got me, and it wasn't because I searched for it. We have this big screen, and at my job, and every year we have like 2 or 3 days out of the year we have to stay until like midnight. There's literally hours where we're not doing anything, waiting for the boss to run numbers so we can tell us what to do. They put on this movie called Hereditary.
I've heard of it.
That thing was legit. It's not like a jump scare thing. It's psychological.
Yeah, I don't like horror either.
I was watching. I was like, bro, this is not good. This is too close to what reality is.
I mean, I think I mentioned it when we were talking about fear, but like I don't really enjoy watching movies. The purpose is to make you scared, which is not what Cabin in the Woods is. The Cabin in the Woods is supposed to be kind of unsettling because obviously that's kind of, it is in that genre, but it's not.
Is there multiple of it?
Not that I know.
So it's just one. Okay.
But its purpose isn't to scare you.
Okay. No. Well, I think that's all we've got for you guys today.
That's it.
I think,
that whole rant's probably gonna cut most of it.
Yeah, maybe. But hope you guys enjoyed it. I know Andrew did.
Yes, sir.
Tax season's almost over, U.S. citizens. Do your taxes.
Yeah.
Bye.
Go check us out on
Peace.
Spotify and anywhere else you get your podcast. We'll see you. Goodbye.
Ah!